Have you ever looked at your IKEA Linman table and thought, this table could be a desk, but needs a little storage? Well, I've just got the project for you. You're in luck, because today we're converting this Linman table to be a functional desk for my daughter who's moving into an apartment at college. Stay tuned as we venture into the realm of DIY retrofitted drawers. Welcome back to Victory Woodworks with Vic, and I'm Vic. Today we've got an interesting project lined up for you. We're going to be tackling something practical and fun. And that's converting an IKEA Linman table into a desk by building an add-on or retrofitted drawer. So if you've got an IKEA table lying around like this one, and you're looking to add some extra storage space via a drawer, you're in the right place. This project is for one of my daughters who's going to college and needs a desk with a drawer for her apartment, but loves IKEA Linman Adil style furniture. Not really sure that is how you pronounce it, so you Swedes out there, feel free to correct me down in the comments. Alternatively for you, it might be a workbench that needs a little more drawer space. Same principles apply. So either way, let's transform that table or workbench with an add-on retrofitted drawer. All right, before we dive into sawdust and power tools, let's take a moment to plan out our project design. Some things to consider in design are the placement of the drawer, so it does not interfere with the Adil's legs. Why not just call them legs? Second is the drawer height, so it doesn't interfere with your legs. You need to sit at this desk and have your legs fit underneath without hitting the drawer. Third, drawer overall dimensions. Depending on what you're going to put in there, you need certain sizes. Finally, make sure it's not only functional, but looks good. Well, at least as much as an IKEA furniture can. Here's an overview of the materials that you'll need. First off, you'll need a Linman table and Adil legs. Depending on your design and preferences, you'll need some lumber for the drawer structure and drawer box. You can choose from various types of wood, whether it's plywood or a budget-friendly option, or hardwood for a more durable and aesthetically pleasing finish. Consider the overall dimensions as you determine how much wood you'll need. We chose plywood because this is an IKEA build after all. Next, you'll need drawer slides to ensure smooth operation of the drawer. Make sure to choose slides that are compatible with the size and weight of your drawer and future contents. You can find these at your local hardware store or online. We got ours at the Big Orange store for about 20 bucks. And don't forget about glue and screws. You'll need these to attach the drawer structure to the table, assemble the drawer box, and attach the drawer slides. Make sure to select screws that are appropriate for the type of wood you're using and the thickness of the materials. You may also want to add drawer handles or drawer pulls, like these, to complete the look and make it easy to open and close a drawer. Again, consider the style and functionality you're going for when choosing these. Or do what I did and let her pick them out herself. That way I can't get it wrong. Some of the tools that are going to be required for this build. You will definitely need a saw to cut the lumber wood to size, whether you prefer a table saw, circular saw, jigsaw, hand saw, or any other kind of saw. Make sure you have one that you can handle the job and that you're comfortable using. I plan on using a table saw and the chop saw, which is over there. A drill will also come in handy for drilling pilot holes and attaching the screws. You'll also need some basic hand tools like a screwdriver, clamps, and a measuring tape. And most importantly, don't forget to wear your safety gear, like goggles and hearing protection to protect yourself during the project. Once you've gathered all of that, we're ready to move forward to the next step, and that's cutting the lumber. First things first, grab your measuring tape. We're going to measure the IKEA table. Now here's the trickiest part. We've got to envision where this drawer will sit and how it'll function within the existing structure of the table. We're not just adding a drawer, we're enhancing the functionality without sacrificing style. We need to know the exact dimensions we're working with, so don't forget to account for any obstructions like the Adils, the legs. Whether it's sketching on paper or modeling in Fusion 360, visualizing our project will help us stay on track and ensure successful outcomes. So take your time with this step. Remember the old saying, measure twice, cut once. Well, in our shop, the motto is measure twice, cut once, and hope it fits together. The overall dimensions I come up with are 22 by about 30. It's wide and deep, not very tall, perfect for notebooks, pens, and pencils. Do kids use those these days anymore? Maybe she'll store her phone, iPad, or laptop in it instead. This is what I was thinking. These are the renderings from Fusion 360, but you could use pencil and paper also. Here's a drawer support, structure support, or whatever you want to call it. This will hold the drawer. And here is the drawer. Here's what it should look like when the project is complete. On each cut list, by the way, I used cutlistoptimizer.com, are the pieces we'll need to cut out with their dimensions. I will add the cut list views to the end of the video for your reference. First cuts will be the 3/4 plywood for the side supports. The side support, there are two of those. The side supports are 3/4 by 4 by 22. The cut list shows a 1/4 sheet of plywood. Alternatively, you can use some scraps if you have them. I had some scrap and used those. Next up is the 1/2-inch plywood. Most of the support stretchers and drawer parts are cut from these to lighten the drawers and keep the costs lower. Later, after the drawer pieces are cut and temporarily assembled, we can cut the bottom of the drawer. With our wood pieces cut to the size, let's drill for the pocket holes and attachment holes. When making pocket holes and using different thicknesses of wood or lumber, make sure you use the correct depth and screw size so you don't poke through the plywood. For the 3/4 inch side supports, we will use the longer 1¼ inch screws with deeper pockets. Everything else is 1/2 inch, and we'll use the shorter 1-inch screws and appropriate depth for those pockets. Also, while drilling, let's drill and countersink the upper structure cross stretchers for attachment holes to the table. And to make it easier to attach, drill access holes into the two lower structural cross stretchers to allow for a very long screwdriver or driver attachment. Apply wood glue to the joints and carefully position the pieces together, ensuring they're square, flush, and clamp them together. You may even want to shoot a brad or two to hold things together. Then drill and countersink for screws to secure the joints and reinforce the frame structure. Now that the support frame is assembled, let's attach it to the other side of the table. Use screws to secure the frame in place, making sure it's aligned and centered within the designated area. With the support frame in place, our table is now equipped to handle the weight of the drawer. The sturdy foundation will ensure smooth operation and longevity for our retrofitted drawer. There are many ways to build a drawer. In our case, we are building a drawer for an IKEA desk, so there will be no dovetails or box joints. This is the perfect use case for pocket holes and screws, so we will be using those on the fronts and backs. You won't see the screws or holes up front because of the drawer front. We will be adding that later on, and those in the back will be against the wall, so don't look. You'll insert the slides into the support frame and 2 pieces of scrap plywood, the same thickness as the drawer sides, and take our measurements for the drawer fronts and backs. We already know the length of the drawers is 21½ inches from our design. Once we've got all of our pieces cut to length, it's time to cut the dados or grooves for the bottom. Set up the table saw to be 1/4 inch high and 1/4 inch from the fence. Dado or groove all your drawer sides. Now nudge the fence a little bit more away from the blade to accommodate the bottom width, and cut the grooves again just a little bit wider. Now it's time to assemble the drawer box. Grab your clamps, wood glue, and screws, and let's get to work. Apply a thin layer of wood glue along the edges of the pieces and carefully align them together. Clamp all the pieces together, then use your drill to drive screws through the joints to secure everything in place. As we assemble the drawer box, pay close attention to ensure everything is square and flush. A square and sturdy box will ensure our drawer operates smoothly and lasts for years to come. Once the box is assembled, give it some time to dry before moving on to the next step, While we wait, we can start preparing the drawer slides for installation. And there you have it. With some careful cutting and precise assembly, our drawer box is starting to take shape. Now that our glue has dried on the drawer box and the supporting frame has been installed, it's time to tackle the next step, which is installing the drawer slides. This will allow our drawer to glide smoothly in and out of its housing, so it's important to get this step just right. First, let's take a close look at our drawer slides and familiarize ourselves with the components. Most drawer slides consist of two parts: the drawer slide itself, which attaches to the cabinet, and the extension that attaches to the drawer box. Now grab your trusty measuring scrap of plywood, half-inch piece, and let's set the drawer slide on it and position it in front of the slide, flush or set back a 32nd of an inch. Now attach them. Use your drill or driver to secure the slide in place with screws, making sure it's level and secure. Make sure the clutch is on so you don't strip out your screws. Next, it's time to install the drawer. Insert the drawer and place it on a scrap of wood, this time 1/4 inch. This way it'll be a little bit lower. Attach the slides to the drawer itself. Align the slides with the front of your drawer and secure them in place using screws. Once both sides of the slides are installed, it's time to test them out. Slide the drawer box into place and give it a test run. Congratulations, you've successfully installed your drawer slides. And there you have it. With our drawer slides installed, our retrofitted drawer is really starting to take shape. Now that our drawer is installed, it's time to add the finishing touch, the drawer front. This is where our retrofitted drawer starts to really come together, take its final form. First off, let's take a moment to consider the aesthetics. Do we want the drawer front to blend seamlessly with the table, or do you want it to stand out and make a statement? Now's the time to make that decision and select the perfect piece of wood for the job. For the drawer front, we, as in my daughter, told me in no uncertain terms that the front should be stained black to match the tabletop. Overall, the drawer front is just a piece of oak, slightly taller and wider than the drawer and its structure. Its dimensions are 3/4 by 4 1/4 by 30 1/4, but yours could vary. I added a chamfer to all the outsides of the edges to give it a slight design element. Once you finish your drawer front, it's time to attach the drawer pulls and attach it to the drawer box. Using the Craig drawer hardware jig, position it centered on the drawer and drill out the handle holes. Okay, so to mount our little handle here for the drawer onto this, what I've done, put down a little piece of blue tape because it's not that easy to see pencil on black. I've then, which you may or may not be able to see right here, is the exact center of the board, both vertically and horizontally. I then adjusted this Craig jig, which comes in handy, to 3-inch spacing for the handles. And they've got a little 3 and 3 over here, so I just lined that up. I'm going to double check it just to make sure it works. And I've set this down just over 2 inches to be right in the center. Now here, there's like a little crosshair right here in the middle that I can align it right onto the spot to know that I'm right in the center. These two knobs control the distance from where the handles are to the bottom or the top of the drawer, depending on which way you look at it. This is cinched down, like I said, to just over 2 inches. So if I press it up against this, I'm right where I want to be from a positioning point of view. This is definitely one spot you don't want to make a mistake because you're basically done and you're doing this. There you can see, came out beautiful. Whoop. There you have it, good fit. So now we're ready to mount it onto the drawer. So let me clean this up, bring the drawer over here. So now we're gonna mount drawer face to the drawer. This is the whole assembly upside down. You can see this is the bottom of the drawer. What we're going to do is we're going to take this 1/8 inch scrap. Just happen to have a scrap in the bin. We're going to put it on the bottom here like that. That's going to give us a spacer so the drawer doesn't rub against the top. Then we're going to take the drawer itself, place it right on top, and we're going to center it kind of by eye. So we got an 1/8 inch gap here, slight extension, and about 1/2 inch on either side. Now what we're going to do, tried and true method of taking a screw and going right through the front into the drawer itself. And then once that's screwed in, we're going to screw from the back side into this to truly secure it. All right, so those are in. Now we can remove this. You can see we still have our gap. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to screw in from the other side. Now let's do this without dropping it or knocking anything over. All right. So we have the drawer in here nicely. I think 2, maybe 4 screws tops. There you have it. Drawer secured. All we got to do is put the handle back on the front. You've just transformed a simple IKEA table into a functional piece of furniture with added storage space. Not bad for a day's work. With the final touches applied and our drawer tested and approved, our retrofitted drawer project is officially complete. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty proud of what we've accomplished. There you have it, our complete project. So, if you like what you saw, learned something new, or learned something you shouldn't do, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. Till our next video, stay passionate.